Okay, so those would be some steps you could use to help you. For some of you, solving these equations, like you don't need to follow the steps, and that's fine. If you don't do it in this exact same order every time, it's fine, as long as you end up with the same thing at the end. Yep. Add 9 to both sides so that it cancels it out. And you would get left with 3x equals, If you have an actual calculator in your bag, this would be a great time to get it out if you need it. 18 plus 9 is 27. Okay, and then next step. Again, if I call on you, it's not because I'm trying to make your life miserable. It's just because I want to hear what you have to say. Ellie, what would you do next?
You divide 3 by 27, or divide 27 by 3.
Yeah, on both sides, divide by 3 because that's multiplication, and you're undoing it with division. Okay, hopefully that is your view. At least that one. X equals 9. Number 2, 4 minus x equals 11. Okay, these ones can be a little bit tricky. You're not going to add the x first. You actually have to get rid of the 4 first. The 4 is positive and out in front. And so let's see, Will, what do you think I should do?
Subtract 4 from both sides.
Okay, you're super close. You said it right the first time, actually.
Yeah, subtract it.
Yeah, you subtract 4. You subtract the 4 because it's positive, which would take that away. And then you get left with negative x equals 11 minus 4 would give us the 7. Okay, what number is actually in front of x right now? A negative 1, right? And so you're dividing by negative 1 because you're not done until the x is like completely positive. 7 divided by negative 1 would give me a negative 7. So these are just two-step equations. Looks like have things with multiple steps. So first, guys, check with me. Do we have distribution? Mm-hmm. Sure do. So go ahead and distribute the 2 first. You distribute it to the x, to the 3. Do you distribute it to the negative 2? No, because it's outside the parentheses. Thank you. So we distribute the 2 just to those first 2 things. 2x, and then 2 times 3 is 6. You're going to bring down the minus 2 and the 11. So that's your distribution. Can I combine like terms, folks? Yes. Kyle, what are my like terms? The 6 and the negative 2. So we combine those, and then we would have 2x. 6 minus 2 would just give us 4. You only have to move your variables to one side if you have variables on both sides, which you don't. So, Libby, what should I do next? 2x equals 11 minus 4 is, I told you, subtraction, 7? Great. Oh no, some of us aren't going to like this. Okay, we're almost done. Cadence, what's the last thing I should do?
Divide by 2.
Yeah, you're going to divide by 2 because that's multiplication. If you have a calculator, you might notice that something is happening, or maybe you can do this in your head. Do you get a whole number? No. You get 3.5, so 3.5, which if you were to put that as a decimal, that's fine with me, but usually we'd rather you leave it as a fraction, okay? So your answer here is going to be 7/2. If you put like 3.5 on a test or a quiz, I would take it, all right? Because 0.5 is a nice, lovely decimal. But if it wasn't, and if it was some crazy decimal, you should leave it as a fraction. Okay? Courtney, what do you think I should do first on number 4? Yeah, you have actually 2 sets of distribution. You're going to distribute the negative 5 and the negative 3. And that minus sign in front of the 3, yes, does make it negative. So I'll try and color code for you so it's easy to see what's happening here. Negative 5 times 2x would give me negative 10x. And negative 5 times 1 would get me negative 5. Okay, repeat that, but remember you're distributing a negative 3, and so it's negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times positive 1 is negative 3. And that's all still equal to positive 20. Distribution is done. Do I have like terms? Yep. Dylan, can you tell me one set of like terms?
Negative 10 to
Yep. And then Victoria, can you give me the other set of like terms?
-5 and -3.
Yeah, so notice I'm marking them. Maybe you don't have to do that, and that's okay. Okay, this is where we struggle a little bit with negatives. Negative 10, and then you're subtracting 3 more. So it is actually negative 13x. Because you're combining those two things, negative 10 plus negative 3. And then negative 5 minus 3, what is that? Negative 8, yeah, that's it. This one is not going to end up very pretty, I think, just a warning. Okay, we're going to keep going. Thanks for letting me call on you at random. It's helping me learn your names also. Okay, so Charlie, what should I do next? Yep, add 8. It's being subtracted, so you do the inverse, the opposite. Negative 13x equals 28. And then the last thing I should do, Caitlin, is what?
Divide -13 on both sides.
Yeah, divide by negative 13. And this is not pretty. If you have a calculator, you could type it in. I don't actually know what it's even going to give you as a decimal, but it's always fun to check. Because if it gives you something nice, that would be a cue to you that you should simplify it. Does it give you something nice? No, not even close. It's crazy. So you're actually going to leave this as a fraction. This is a good lesson for you that it's not always going to end up pretty, and that's okay. Go back and check your work. I know sometimes that's like a red flag that, oh shoot, I must have done it wrong. Well, actually, not always. So that's your answer. And fractions are your friend, so don't be afraid. These last two have something that you may not have seen before. It's got some stuff with fractions that are that's a little bit different. So let's look at number 5. All right. So normally you would probably add the 3 first, except if you look here, you actually have variables on both sides. So yes, you'd like to try and move the variables to one side, but then it's fractions and it'd just be very ugly. And so you actually should get rid of this negative 4, or not negative 4, that division by 4 first. So just think about what you know. How do you undo division? You multiply, right? And so this is going to feel a little odd. Maybe you're going to multiply by 4 on both sides. So it looks like, ooh, that's a highlighter. Okay, it looks like this. You multiply by 4 on both sides. I'm trying to make it pretty for you. Because the right-hand side has 2 terms, it would actually go in parentheses with the 4 in the front. That would undo this division. Because it would be 4 over 4, which is 1. So we're undoing that division with multiplication. And it would end up looking like this. 3x is equal to, you have the 4 in front, and then x minus 3. Now it's something that you probably feel a little bit more comfortable with. So we'll go ahead and distribute the 4. Which would get me 4x, and 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Okay, we've not actually done one like this yet. You have variables on both sides, so this is where we don't like that. You got to get variables on one side. You have just a 3x over here and a 4x on the right. Which one do you think you should move, the 3x or the 4x? Okay, could someone please give me an explanation? Why does it make sense to move the 4x and not the 3x, Kendrick?
Because you don't have another variable that is not in there somewhere. So it's 4x.
Right. And if you were to move this guy, or sorry, if you move this one, you move the 3x, what would it be equal to? It'd be equal to 0. So you could actually still do it, but then that's usually when I see students make mistakes. So try and make sure you move it from the side that still has something left over. 4x, you subtract. Goodbye. Oh, that was not very pretty. that's gone. 3x minus 4x would give me a negative 1x equals negative 12. And I forgot to say this at the start. I think this is something I usually teach in Algebra 1. If you like, you can always do this balancing line down the middle to help you keep your sides separate, if that's helpful to you, okay? Last step, divide by negative 1, and you should be done. It's the moving the variables to one side that we get a little bit, I see you making mistakes, okay? Okay, last thing, it's got that same division thing sort of happening, and so I think I'll have you discuss your tables. You've got distribution to do first. Yeah, let's go ahead and take care of that, and then I'll ask you what to do. Okay, with your people at your table, can you please go ahead and do the distribution on number 6, because we always do that first. Do the distribution, and check and make sure you guys get the same thing. And go ahead and just ignore this x plus 4 divided by 5. Put that in the front for now and ignore it. So distribute and then check with the people around you if you could. I think I did that right. Okay. Check with people around you, check it with the board. All right, so this one's a little bit weird, kind of like the last one. Because this x plus 4 is all over the 5, it's kind of like it's stuck in parentheses. You can't deal with that yet. You got to deal with these other things first. This is what I would recommend. There's lots of ways you could do it. But I would say if you try and combine these like terms, it's not going to work for you because this x is over a 5. So we're just going to, this is annoying for us, so we're going to deal with that at the end. Let's go ahead and move our variables to one side. Let's say we want to try and move this stuff over there, but there's not one right way to do it. So we want to move this negative 2x. Bryson, how do I move it? Yep, do the opposite and add it over. So you always see me move the variables first because I feel like that makes it usually have less mistakes. Okay, now we have this. I'm just going to rewrite it as many times as I need. It doesn't make you necessarily a better math student if you can skip steps. The more work you show, all you're doing is just preventing mistakes, okay? So I move the 2x over. I also want to move the 6 over. Haley, how do I move it? Yep. So we'll subtract this 6 over. Oh, that is not a good color. And you're subtracting that from the constant. Almost done here. X plus 4 over 5. That's gone. Equals 14x. And negative 8 minus 6 more. This would be where if you struggle with your negatives, I do not want that to be the reason why you struggle in Algebra 2. So if you need to use a calculator, it's fine. It's minus 14. This would be where a calculator would come in handy. And then it looks like the last one we just did, right? You got to deal with this guy. You see that big fraction bar, all that really means is division. And so, guys, how do you undo division? Multiply. And so you multiply by 5 on both sides so that it cancels out this division. You do not, this is a common mistake. I will see students that try and distribute this 5. You can't do that because what you're using that multiplication for is to cancel out the division. So that 5 is gone over there. we don't care about it anymore. You're left with x plus 4 equals something. It's 72. I don't even know. 70. Way off. I'll do that. 70x minus 70. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. And this one is not going to give you a pretty answer either. It's okay. Move your variables to one side, and let's see, if you move the 70x, it doesn't really matter which one you do. I'm going to go this way. I know some of you won't like it. To make this a 1x and subtract the 1x. You're allowed to move from left to right. It's okay. So that would become a 4 equals 69x minus 70. And now it's just a two-step equation. So you would add the 70. Ooh, sorry. Which would be 74 equals 69x, and then your last step would be to divide by 69. If you check it in your calculator, 74 divided by 69 is pretty terrible, and so you're going to leave it as a fraction. What's nice about having a real, not iPhone calculator is they can all actually simplify fractions for you.